Hey, hi all. Welcome to another video in the Azure Fundamental series. So in this video, I am trying to explain the concept of virtual networking in the Azure cloud. So as per the official definition from Microsoft, um, an Azure Virtual Network is a service that provides the fundamental building block for your private network in Azure. An instance of the virtual network enables many types of Azure resources to securely communicate with each other and to the internet and on to the on-premises network. So, in simple definition, maybe we can say a virtual network is a representation of your own network in the cloud provided by the Azure Virtual Network Service. So you may have a network in your organization. So if you are working in a company, your company might have physical networks inside your office. Um, it is configured using firewalls, router, and switches. So the same concept applicable here. So it's a virtual representation of your own company network in the cloud. So here also you can uh, configure the routing and configure firewall rules here. You can create subnets here. So it almost provide every feature that you get in a physical networking setup. So also this virtual network is a must-have for many of the Azure services. For example, Azure virtual machines. So in order to create some virtual machine, we need the virtual network. So either we can create the virtual network by creating the virtual machines, or you can create the virtual network separately and associate the virtual network to the corresponding services at the time of that service creation. Both are okay, but uh, in a production, in a official or company setup, people normally create the virtual network separately and the subnets separately, and then associate these virtual network or subnets with the other resources. So some people who are handling the Azure portal, or some developers in the company might be using the Azure portal. They might not have enough permission to create virtual network. So in that case, what the admin of your company does is they will create the common virtual network and they will decide the IP addresses to use, and they will create the virtual network commonly in the Azure portal, and they will give you the access to that virtual network. So once the developers or who are working on the Azure, while they're creating the resources, they can use the existing virtual network. That is the step normally follow. So I already logged into my Azure portal. So in the top pan, you can see the virtual network here, or you can just search here. So I'm just clicking here the virtual network. So here I'm going to click on create virtual network. So I have already selected the resource group and my subscription. The virtual network name also I'm giving like that, similar to my resource group name, cloud migration develop. In a real world environment, you might need to create a virtual network based on your environment, your project environment, like a dev, test, QA, or pre-prod or production environment. So it will be a good practice to keep a separate virtual network for each of the environment. Don't use a single virtual network for the uh, entire all environment. That's too risky, and if something happens to any particular environment, it may affect the other environment as well. So create separate virtual network for separate environments. So here I have given the virtual network name, and the region will be is to use only. But and also while creating the virtual network, you should be careful about the region. So once you create selected the region, you cannot change it later. So the reason I am saying that once you created a virtual network, and you may want to do some peering between two virtual network in future, or you may want to enable some VPN services in the virtual network in future. That's all are depend on your region you select. I think the peering will support between the same region only. I'm not sure, but be careful about the region you select. In most cases, you should select the same region as your resource group only. And next, I'm going to security block. So these security options are actually optional. These are additional paid services. So first thing is virtual network encryption. So if you enable this option, the traffic between your virtual network or the virtual network services or the services attached to the same virtual network is encrypted. All services or traffic between this virtual network will be encrypted. Here for the demo purpose, I don't need this encryption, but maybe if you want more security, you can enable that. And another one is Azure Bastion service. So this Azure Bastion service is also a paid service and it's optional. But if you are planning to create some virtual machines in future, and you want to enable Bastion service on that virtual machine, and you want to associate this virtual network to that virtual machine, means you need to enable this Azure Bastion service. Basically, what is Azure Bastion service is that if you create a virtual machine, normally people access that virtual machine via RDP protocol, via a remote desktop. So Azure introduced a new way to access the virtual machines without the need of RDP protocol, or not the RDP protocol, but without the need of a client machine. In the browser itself, we can access the Azure virtual machines. So that is what called Azure Bastion service. It will work with the RDP or SSH. We don't need to download an RDP file to our system. Instead, you can directly open a new window in your browser and you can directly access the Azure virtual machines through the browser. That is a more secure way. So people normally choose this Azure Bastion service when you want to create some Azure virtual machines and give the access to some external parties or external people. They will go with this Azure Bastion. So it's a more secure way to access the RDP services nowadays. So I'm not going to enable this one, but if you have any plan to use the Bastion service in the Azure virtual machines in future, means you need to enable this Azure Bastion. It's a paid service only. Similar to that, there is Azure Firewall also. It will provide some extra firewall security services that maybe you can enable. That is also a extra paid service. This Azure DDoS network protection is also an extra service that you can associate with your virtual network. These are all optional, not necessary. But so I'm just going to click on next. So here comes the IP addresses part. So here we need to choose your organization's IP address range and series very carefully. So for the demo, I'm just going with the default one, and the subnet. I think the people who are watching the video might have a smaller idea about subnet. So this subnet is basically, you can see that a virtual network, if you give like that, we will get this many of addresses. So subnetting is basically what it does is it is going to separate your address space into different groups. Okay, so you can create one subnet based on the default one. This is name of the subnet. So, and the size. If I subnet this address space with /24, I will get 256 addresses. So in the total of 65,536 addresses, if I do the subnetting, I will get uh, 256 addresses in a one single subnet. Similar to that, I can create many subnet. So it will be useful when you want to segregate resources in your Azure. For example, in your Azure environment, you have some virtual machine. So for all the virtual machines, you can use a single subnet. Suppose you have some other services in the sense, what to say, you are deploying some SQL services in the Azure, or you are deploying some app services in your in the Azure. So in these services, you want to enable, you want to associate some virtual network. So in that case, you can create different subnet for each of these um, services. For all the SQL databases or services, you can create one subnet. For all the other app services, you can create another subnet. Like that, you can create. So you can group certain address spaces for particular need. That is mean by subnetting. So here I am just going with the default one. So here I will get the 256 address. So for the 256 address, I can almost use thus that much of services, or that much of service I can associate with the subnet. So that is regarding subnet. And next, I'm going to next. So here you can just select the tags. I'm just selecting the name as environment and value as development. Next, I'm going to click on review plus create. So Azure is running some validation. So one thing I have missed here is that so in order to if you are planning to associate this subnet with some virtual network, and in a need of internet access, you need to edit the subnet and add a NAT gateway. That you can directly do here, like you just click on edit and go to bottom. So here you can see NAT gateway, and here you can create a new gateway here. So this NAT gateway is needed if you want network access from a virtual machines. So maybe you can add that later. Currently I am not adding it. So I'm just going to click on review plus create. Okay, so the validation is complete, and I can now create the virtual network. So it's now deploying. Okay. Okay, so the deployment is now completed. I am going to the resource. So the virtual network is created, and the total address space you can see it from here. And if you go to the left side subnets, you can see the subnet we have created. Okay, so the available IPs are 251. If you want to create more subnet mean, you can just create subnets here. Okay, so that's it about this video, and in future videos I will create some resources that will use this virtual network. So for now, thanks for watching my videos. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you on the next video. Thank you.